Hi, my name is Amber. Welcome back to my channel, Books and Beaches. So I am finally getting my voice back, so it is time to start filming some more videos. And I thought, why not follow the trend and do the ever so popular tag that's going around right now, and that is the mid-year book freakout tag, I think is the official name of that one. Clearly, you've seen a lot of people doing this one right now. I believe I've done it the last 2 years as well. So I am here to talk about that one today. I'm going to kind of do this one on the fly because I just finally, like I said, found my voice today. So I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to sit down and talk about this one. And it is just a fun one to kind of, go through and look at what I've already read this year so far. And then, the things that I'm looking forward to reading, for the rest of the upcoming year, I guess. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at the questions. So I've got the questions up here on my computer. I also have a bunch of my different spreadsheets that I use that I'll probably be referencing. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look. So the very first question is the best book that I've read so far this year. And I don't think there will be a book that tops this one. And there is probably going to be no surprise in this answer, and that is The Women by Kristen Hanna. I can't stop thinking about this book. I want to reread this book. This was the only book so far in a very, very long time that as soon as I finished it, I immediately wanted to restart it. And I haven't had that experience with anything else this year. Quite honestly, in May and in June, I've been in a little bit of a book slump, or reading slump, I guess. So yeah, this by far is probably the best book I've read in a very, very long time, let alone just this year. So there is that. So the next question is the best sequel that I've read this year. And I am trying to think how many sequels I've actually read this year. Now, the spreadsheet that I do use, which is a spreadsheet that was created by the Book Hoarder, does track series. I've read some short stories, so I'm not gonna necessarily include those. But I guess if I had to pick, I've started a lot of series this year. So I started Fourth Wing this year. I started, let's see, I actually have, I started the Last Mrs. Parrish, but that series is coming out. So I have read a couple different series. I did read The Guncle Abroad, so that was a good second book in the Guncle series. I did really like that one. I don't have the physical copy of that one because I had that one off of NetGalley. Otherwise, I read the third book in the Lilac Girl series, that was Sunflower Sisters, but that one I don't think you necessarily have to read in order, so I wouldn't consider that one a series. Otherwise, I did read Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. That one was fabulous. Of course, that's sitting over on my shelves too. But once again, I mean, yes, I think you should read those because there are little things in those that you wouldn't necessarily want spoiled for you. But I would say the one that is truly, truly a series would be The Guncle and The Guncle Abroad. So I think I'll go with that one for that question. So, all right, the next one after that is a new release that I haven't read yet. I have so many, but one that I just got in the mail last week is Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. This will probably be the next book that I pick up. Since I've been in a little bit of a reading slump, I just decided last night that I was going to listen to a Frida McFadden audiobook just to kind of kick myself back in, because those typically, get myself back into the groove. But this will be the next book I pick up after that, because I know this is going to be good, but I didn't want it to be the first book that I read out of my slump just in case. So yeah, I am definitely looking forward to this one for sure. After that, it says the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. This one is hard because I typically do my anticipated release videos month by month. And so I have just started looking at July's. That'll probably be the next video I film after this one. And so July actually has a lot of books that I'm looking forward to. Sorry. Weird noises going on in my apartment today. I don't know what that was. And I do apologize if I cough a little bit. That cough is still lingering there just a little bit. But some of the books I am looking forward to coming out in July, we do have a new release coming out from Meg Schaefer, who wrote, totally escaping me right now. Anyways, I'll link it below because I'm just totally having a complete brain lapse here. But we're getting The Grandest Game coming out, and that is by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. We are getting a new Sherry Lapina book coming out in July. So there are a few things coming out in July that I'm really looking forward to. But other than that, like, I haven't done a lot of my research for the rest of the year. So I am sure there are other books coming out, but that is for sure some of the ones I'm looking forward to coming out in July. So, all right, my biggest disappointment of the year. So if I go back and look at my reading spreadsheet here, my biggest disappointment, I guess if I'm looking at my ratings, I did have some pretty low ratings. Some of my lowest books were books that I read in some of the short story series that I read, but I think one that definitely stands out for me that I was probably disappointed in was a book that I read during middle grade March, and this was actually a book in a series, and that was Coyote Lost and Found by Dan, I always say his last name wrong, Gemeinhardt, and this was The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise's sequel, which I loved that first book, and I just did not like the second one. So I think that was my biggest disappointment so far this year, because I expected that second book to be so fantastic, and it just felt so short. And I think that seemed to be a very common answer for a lot of people. So far, I would say that is probably my biggest disappointment in 2024. All right, my biggest surprise. Ooh, that one's a difficult one. Like a book that I was surprised that I liked. I mean, looking at my 5 stars, I'm not surprised I liked The Women. That definitely wasn't I guess I would have to go and okay, let's grab it. This was a book that I think, as I scoot forward here, this was a book that surprised me because I really liked this. And obviously this is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I did not expect to like this as much as I did. And I really like this. I gave this book 5 stars. Now I have not picked up the sequel, but considering I am not a huge like fantasy, romantasy, however they're categorizing this, I'm not a huge reader like that. It surprised me in how much I enjoyed it. Now, I can't tell you when I'm going to pick up the sequel. I actually was looking for it the other day when I was at Half Price Books and did not find it. But yeah, I was completely shocked at how much I enjoyed this story, and the cliffhanger that it ends on does make me want to pick up the sequel. So yeah, this was a big surprise for me, and thanks to my book club for actually making me pick it up. So definitely a big surprise. All right. Excuse me. All right, the best new or new to me author of the year. Ooh. Who was new to me this year? I do keep track of this, so let me look. Who was new to me this year? All right, so, well, Rebecca Yarros was new to me. Let's see. Ooh, Lane Fargo was a new author to me this year. I read They Never Learn, and this was a recommendation from Audrey, obviously, at Chapter and Converse, and I really enjoyed that book. Wasn't a perfect 5-star, but I am looking forward to picking up more from her. I think I actually just got approved for her new book on NetGalley. I don't think I've read anything else, but that was a surprise for me. Not that I was surprised by something that Audrey recommended to me. I mean, that's obvious. It's a recommendation from Audrey, but that was a new to me author that I did really enjoy that book. So I will have to go with that one because that was probably the best new to me author that I think I've read so far this year, especially one that sticks out to me comparatively for everything on this list, other than obviously like Rebecca Yarros. So, but I have read a lot of other new to me authors. Ooh, another one, Vera Kurian. That was a good one as well. So there'd be a lot that I think would tie for those ones. So one that I think every year that I've answered this, and I don't think I have an answer, is my new fictional crush. I don't really get fictional crushes. I'm pretty sure I've had that same answer every year. So yeah, although maybe the only answer that I think I could come up with this one, and now I can't think of what his name is. I will look here. Oh, what was his name in this book? You guys are gonna laugh at me for how many times I've gone back and forth with my chair. Justin. So Justin from Just for the Summer. Now, do I think he's a perfect character? No. But I do like some of the things that he does before his dates. Like sending out a survey before you go on a date. Yeah, that would be totally something that I would appreciate. So, not that I'm saying that I want anybody that I would date to do that, but I just think it's like a funny concept because it's very cute. So if I had to pick one, Justin from Just for the Summer. Yeah, I would pick that one. All right. A book that made me cry. Oh gosh. Now I'd have to look. I mean, I know there have been books this year, but I can't think of off the top of my head. Definitely not lately. So what happens when you read a lot of thrillers? I can't remember if I cried at all in Just for the Summer. No. I don't remember what the last book would have been. I know there were Tears in the Women, but that was so long ago. So I know there were some in my list of books this year, but I can't think of a specific one off the top of my head, which is odd, but I'm sure there was one at some point. So, and actually, I think even Fourth Wing made me cry at one point. I'm almost positive, because I think I texted someone that during one of the battle scenes. So, anyways, all right, a book that made me happy. I mean, all of these books make me happy. It's reading, but let me see. One that I know made me laugh out loud. And so I guess I will include that in making me happy. And this is going to sound weird because this is actually categorized as a thriller, but Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera actually made me laugh out loud because the grandmother in that book is so funny. She's very like snarky and snarky and sassy are kind of like the same thing, but she has such a sense of humor when it comes to her granddaughter and like the antics that she has in that book. So I even commented, I said, the fact that I'm laughing out loud while listening and reading, because I kind of did a tandem thing, like reading a thriller was a very weird concept for me. So I'll have to go with that one. Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. All right, the most beautiful book that I purchased this year. I think I'm gonna have to go with this one. This is the book of month copy of The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. I mean, hello, it's a tropical book. If this doesn't scream Amber at Books and Beaches, I mean, just for the summer, this is beautiful too. So I clearly have a theme of what I like. Stick something tropical or something beachy on a book cover and you've got me hooked. I mean, even like One Perfect Couple. This is a dark beach scene, but it's like still got like the palm trees and stuff on it. So, and actually the original cover, I will try to find, it's not the original cover, but I think it was a UK release of this cover, is what I wanted to buy, but I refused to pay like $50 worth of shipping. I will link that cover of this one. It was the one I really wanted, but I just, like I said, refused to pay that shipping. So that would have been the most beautiful book that I would have had. So, all right, books that I still need to read before the end of the year. So there is a book of bins back there, a bin of books back there that I still need to read, which would be the 12 books that I pulled off my shelves that I wanted to read in 2024. I have read some of them, but not a lot of them. So a lot of those books are still on my list. I still have a significant amount of books of the books that my 12 friends recommended for me. So I have a lot of books that I still want to read. I've been really, really good about reading a lot of my new releases this year. A lot of my NetGalley, I've done a really great job at meeting some of those goals, but I have a lot of books that I've kind of pulled that I said I want to focus on. And yeah, since I've been in a little bit of a slump lately, that's just not happening. So I will get there, but plenty that I need to cover. So anyways, those are all the questions that go into the mid-year book freakout tag. What are some of the answers that you would have for some of these questions? Feel free to let me know in the comments below. As always, if you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.